Well, here we are, November 1st in the college football season, week number 10. Guys, this regular season is quickly winding down. Of course, the conversation that's dominating college football right now is the playoff committee's standings and rankings for the various teams. I don't agree with them necessarily, and we talked about that earlier, so no need to discuss them once more because they're all going to be changing after today's games. Listen, I think one thing that you have to always consider now at this stage of the season, and especially even today, the weather. Now, if you go to our scores and odds page, you're going to see the weather reports for various games listed. Guys, you know, up and down the East Coast, from Boston down to pretty much Charlotte, over to the Midwest, over to Chicago, you're looking at cold temperatures today. You're looking at wind chills in the low 30s, the upper 20s. You're looking at rainy, possibly snow mixed in conditions as well. You've got to factor in how your team perhaps is going to excel or not play well in such conditions. And I'll give you a prime example. You know, when the lines were announced on Sunday night, I looked at that TCU West Virginia game and I thought, oh my gosh, I love the Horned Frogs. Absolutely love TCU in that game. 3.5 point favorite, I think TCU is the better team. And I think TCU can get the job done. But now I'm looking at a weather forecast in that game where, you're looking at a 90% chance of rain with snow mixed in, wind chills somewhere in the 30s, low 30s, I should say. So you've got a TCU team that's playing just its third game of the season, coming from the Fort Worth, Texas area where the temperatures have been a nice balmy 80-some degrees for the past few weeks, while the rest of the country is suddenly starting to see an early freeze. Hey, that gets me off the game. And guys, you have to be aware of it. Again, here on the site, you go to the scores and odds page, you're going to see the weather reports for NFL, college football, baseball, etc. You got to always factor it in now to your handicapping at this stage of the season. So, TCU, I'm not even going to venture a guess on that game because I just think it's one that I had to automatically cross off the board. So I've got other free selections coming your way. And as for me personally, listen, guys, there is still a place for superstition and gambling. I've always believed that in 20 plus years of doing that. And, as I made light of, perhaps most of you think I was joking about it, but I was dead serious in yesterday's video report when I say that I do not like backing a team on consecutive days or on consecutive weeks when we're talking football. And such was my dilemma last night with the two college football games. You had Cincinnati at Tulane. You had Memphis at home against Tulsa. Well, last Friday I had a 10-time winner on Cincinnati over South Florida, and then I came back last Saturday with an even bigger play, a 15-timer on Memphis in the road route of SMU. So I looked at those two games last night, and I like them both, but after going back and forth, I got to be honest. I like those games evenly, but I just had that little guy talking to me on my shoulder about that little bit of superstition. Stay away from Memphis, he was telling me. Don't go with the Tigers for a second straight game. So instead, I went with Cincinnati, and the Bearcats lose their starting quarterback after one series of play. But I had already told you in my analysis yesterday, if you got it, that I thought that was going to be the deal. Both quarterbacks were definitely going to play, and it didn't matter because Tulane wasn't any good. And, of course, Cincinnati rolled to the easy road win, a double-digit route as a 6.5-point favorite. Meanwhile, Memphis struggled mightily at home in the first half against Tulsa, finally breaking it open, winning by 20. Impressive. Problem is, they were a 24-point favorite. So there you go. Cashed in again. That was a 10-dime play for me yesterday. I am now 31-10 with those 10-dime releases, which are my normal second highest rated play, no matter the sport or season, over the past 9 weeks. But today, for the third straight Saturday, I'm going to raise the bar. I've got a 15-dime release, which again matches my normal top rated play in football. Last Saturday, that winner was Memphis over SMU. 2 Saturdays ago, it was Michigan State in the first half at Indiana. 4 Saturdays ago, when I had another one, it was Texas and Baylor, and the Bears got the job done in Austin against the Longhorns. Well, today, once more, I've got a 15-dime release. And for the third straight weekend, you're going to save a fortune. In fact, you're going to save $80 for the third straight Saturday, which means you're going to get this play from me for just $29. Not only am I on a 30-11 run, guys, with those 10-dime releases, but the overall winning streak, I have nothing to complain about, and certainly you don't either. Going for winning day number 45 out of 70, 23-12 football roll, won 14 of the last 20 days. the short-term run as well. So that's what I have going today as one of today's featured promos. But of course, this is Saturday, and you know what that means. Each and every Saturday over the past 3 years, I've given you a money-saving discount coupon code that could potentially save you hundreds of dollars off your total purchase price. And today is no different. That coupon code is 24%, 24PERCENT, which means you can save 24% off your total purchase price. And it's a mix and match coupon. For those of you that are newcomers, repeat after me. You can make your selection among any Handicapper's picks, any Handicapper's packages. It's a mix and match coupon. The only stipulation, it's a one-time usage coupon, which means you can't come in and get my big play and then come in 2 hours later and get Jeff Benton's big play. It's a one-time usage coupon. You put everything in your shopping cart at one time to maximize your savings and save 24% off your total purchase price. If you happen to be in the middle of a package with a particular handicapper and you want to extend it outward, taking advantage of this coupon, you can do so. And if there's any instant rebates, they're applicable as well. As usual, if you ever have any questions, you can always contact customer service. Now, I just alluded to Jeff Benton. Not only is he going for winning day number 10 out of 12 today, but third ever 200 dime play in college football in his career, and he is one of the charter members of this site. Over 11 and a half years ago, he was on it when I started it. It's his Revenge Game of the Year, part number 2. It goes on the daytime card. Part 1, last Saturday, Rice over North Texas. You got it for $44, a savings of $75 off the regular price. Same deal goes today. Save $70. Use coupon code Jeff, his first name, Jeff. By the way, 4 times bigger than last night's 50-dime total winner on the Grizzlies Pacers over that you got as the 777 triple play. 4 times bigger than his Thursday winner on the Saints, and 4 times bigger than his Monday winner on the Redskins outright over the Cowboys. So that's what Jeff Benton has going for him. Late night bailout. Last Saturday, it was Anthony Redd, and he delivered a winner. 2 Saturdays ago, it was Shawn Michaels, and I think it was Shawn Michaels, and he delivered a winner. I saw a big play come in here. I saw it's on the last game on the board, the game that goes at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Big game in terms of the implications, and it's from Craig Davis. Now, Craig Davis, you may recall, just this past Sunday, you got the first ever 150-dime play of his career. It was his Sunday night play. The Saints just demolishing the Packers, and you got that play for $49, saving $70 off the regular price. Well, today, not only is he going for winning day number 10 out of 14, but he's got his Pac-12 Game of the Year. It's a 75-dime release. Arizona and UCLA. It's the second biggest college play of his career, guys. And you can get it and save $77 in the process, which means you get it for $22. I'm not kidding you guys. How many other times have I told you? You don't have to spend big money to make big money. I'm a big proponent of that and have been so in my 20 years in this industry. So, listen, you get it using the coupon code BAILOUT. BAILOUT. Bigger than his 50-dime winner on the Saints on Thursday night at Carolina. Bigger than his 30-dime winner on Cincinnati and the over. The teaser last night at Tulane. Get it from Craig Davis. And listen, all your other promos, all your specials, etc., they're all on the homepage. Take advantage of it. Hey, $5 play of the day. It's another game that's laid on the board as well from Gabe Dupont. So check it all out on the homepage. Listen, I want to get to the complimentary plays. Like I said, it's an interesting card. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of quality. But there's a lot of games that are just slightly flawed in my estimation, mainly because of the weather. And, as I said, I think it's something that you have to consider at this time of the season. Let me talk about the game between Arizona and UCLA. I'll give you my take on it, and if you get Craig Davis's play, you'll get his take on the game, and you'll see which one of us, if we have a consensus or if we're going on opposite sides, but at least give you my in-depth breakdown. The Bruins are coming off a 2-overtime win at Colorado last week, 40-37. They blew a 31-14 fourth quarter lead. Now, that's not really surprising. It's because the Bruins, well, hey, listen, the week before against California, they barely escaped in Berkeley, 36-34. Their last home game, they lost to Oregon, 42-30, and that final score wasn't even as close as it really indicated on the scoreboard because Oregon was dominant in that game going into the fourth quarter. They've allowed at least 27 points in each of their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are coming off a 59-37 win at Washington State. That one wasn't even close either. I mean, Arizona was just totally in control, and it was a nice rebound performance for Rich Rod's team because, of course, they were coming off the bye, which was preceded by their first loss after a 5-0 start when they lost by 2 at home to USC. UCLA. 1-5 against the spread. Last 6 at the Rose Bowl with 3 straight losses this season. 1-7 against the spread this season because they put points on the board, but they can't stop anybody. How ironic is that? Mara's team can't stop anybody. Bruins are playing for a 6th straight week. I think all this goes against them tonight. They might win this game, but I think this is a field goal game in either direction. So I love Arizona in this particular contest. Next game, Oregon, another Pac-12 team. Stanford has had the Ducks number, as you know, the past 2 years. But this Stanford team isn't good. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't have a dominating defense. It has a good defense. But it doesn't really have the offense to take advantage of an Oregon team that really doesn't stop anybody. So if ever Oregon was going to have a blowout win against the Cardinal, I think it's today in double revenge. Ducks off the 59-41 win at California last week. Again, they don't have much defense, okay? They beat Washington 45-20 in their last home game after losing their preceding home game to Arizona. But hey, this is also a team that took care of business and rallied for the easy double-digit win in week number 2 at home against Michigan State, and I think they're a top 8 team in the country. As for Stanford, yes, they're allowing just 12.5 points a game, but you're going to play this Oregon offense, and I don't think the Stanford defense is as dominant as it has been in recent years, which has really hurt the Ducks in their matchups. So in double revenge, I'm going to go with Oregon, averaging 45.5 points this season, to take care of business against Stanford. Another Pac-12 game, guys. I have a hunch that Southern Cal rebounds today, and they've been a very strong team in rebound situations coming off a loss so far this season. Yes, they're a 9.5-point favorite. There is a 40% chance of rain in this game against Washington State on the road. The Trojans coming off a 24-21 loss at Utah. But listen, they beat Colorado in their home game prior, 56-28. They won at Arizona the week before that, 28-26, after Arizona was coming off the road win at Oregon and had started the season 5-0, as I alluded to earlier. Cougars coming off, as I just pointed out a couple minutes ago, a 59-37 home loss to Arizona, and it wasn't close. They were down 31-0. They were down 52-16, okay? The prior home game, Mike Leach's team can't play defense. We know that. They lost 60-59 to California. They're 1-4 in their last 5 overall. Cody Kessler, the quarterback they're facing today, 20 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions on the season. And it's a revenge spot for USC as well, because remember, Washington State last year went to the Coliseum, 15-point underdog, and won 10-7, snapping USC's 8-game winning streak in the series. Road team has covered 11 of the last 17. I think Southern Cal is to play in this one. The world's biggest cocktail party, well, who knows? I don't know if that applies or anybody cares anymore with Florida having such a bad year. But I'm willing to lay the 10.5 points with Georgia in this contest. Gators off a 42-13 loss at home to Missouri. Lost the game before that, 30-27 at home to LSU. Prior to that, they won at Tennessee 10-9. They also lost at Alabama 42-21. We know all the pressures that are going on here, and that who knows, by the end of the year there could be a coaching change in Gainesville. But all we're focused in is in this game. The Bulldogs, listen. They're coming off a 45-32 win at Arkansas 2 Saturdays ago. The week before that, they won in Columbia, Missouri. They shut out Mizzou 34-0. Same Tigers team that came to Gainesville and kicked the Gators' ass 42-13. You go figure. They've scored Georgia at least 24 points in every single game. Their defense has been somewhat suspect this year. I mean, they gave up, 32 points at home to Tennessee. They gave up 38 points in a road loss to South Carolina, which I still don't understand how they lost that game. But listen, Georgia's still without Todd Gurley, but it doesn't really matter because the freshman running back, Nick Chubb, 569 yards on the season, 6.1 yards per carry. The past 2 weeks in Gurley's absence, 143 yards at Missouri, 202 yards at Arkansas. Florida today, giving true freshman Treon Harris his first start. He's thrown 18 passes in 3 appearances so far this season. He could be better than Jeff Driscoll, but I think this is all Georgia today. So I would go ahead and I would lay the 10.5 points in that one. So those are a slew of free selections for you. And I like them all for one reason or another. Not quite as much as my best bet today, but that's why they're free picks. So again, recapping them for you. And again, going in reverse chronological order, I started this video report telling you I loved TCU early in the week. but I got off the Horned Frogs. No opinion on that game between West Virginia and TCU. I'm not even sure if it goes over. It should go over, but again, you have to factor in the weather conditions there. I like Arizona as the 6.5-point road dog against UCLA. I like Oregon in double revenge at home, laying the 8 or so points against Stanford. I like Southern Cal to bounce back from a loss as a 9.5 to 10-point favorite at Washington State. And I like Georgia laying the 10.5 to 11 against Florida. That'll do it today, guys, and good luck to you all. I'll catch you again tomorrow.